Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Honest Am here, the creator and writer of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards millennials who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for a love reading. A little bit of housekeeping if you're interested in getting a year at a glance or any type of tarot reading with me. My books are now open, so please check out the description box below. If you're interested in learning more about honestlysis.com or diving in our archive, please make sure you check out the description box below. And regardless of whether you want to do any of those things, please make sure you check out the description box below because there are always additional guidance, angel numbers, as well as maybe some resources from this reading. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. We are about to do a love reading. Angel number 41. Dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, what information do you deem worthy for us to hear in our life in regards to our love life, divine partnerships, or divine communities? Allow no room for doubt or confusion in me or the viewer's mind. God, what do we need to know about our love life? God, in name I pray. Ashe. All right. So, the card that pop out is retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Angel number 111. So God is saying that it's time to retreat from the world. And then passion, allow your heart and joy, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And so I feel like what God is saying right now is not really the time to focus in on your love life. I really feel like right now God is asking us to really take the time to focus on our passions, really take those time to bring our dreams to life. I don't know about you guys, but it felt like in the 2004, 2005 era that there was like this war against Black women. And I just remember the narrative that it was saying like the more educated you are, the more unlikely that you would end up married. I remember because I graduated from the Hampton University and I was in a 5-year MBA program. And so we would have different companies come in every week or whatever. We would have a representative from a company come in to talk about that company. And it just felt like every time there was a woman, and especially if there was a Black woman, it was just always just, I don't know. Like, I remember so vividly this one lady who came in from a public accounting firm. And I remember her literally bragging about how she had to miss her daughter's recital and all of this stuff because of how important her job was. And so I just remember feeling like this ball in my gut. And so for me, I used to always feel like I couldn't have love in my dreams because Oprah used to always say, you can't have it all. You can't have it all. And I'm just here to say that that's bullshit. And like, we've been told a lie. And like, Oprah was really projecting, and she really put her own internal issues on all of us, and it was really fucking irresponsible now that I think about it. Because like I'm just the type of person that felt like success leaves clues, and like when Oprah said you can't have it all, I was like, okay, so I can't be super successful and a businesswoman. And so I decided that I'd rather have love. And so I remember one time I literally prayed to not have a job before. I remember just shrinking myself in relationships, and it's kind of funny that it took my last relationship where he was just so into his work. And honestly, like now that I think about it, like I wish that we had the tools to like make it work because like now I get it. But because he was so passionate about what he was doing, and I have never been around nobody like that in my life, like he would spend hours and hours working on music or like research. Like I honestly learned so much from him. That's probably why it took forever to break up with him, because he just taught me so much. And especially when it comes to passion and about dedicating yourself and about, realizing that even if you don't know it technically, it's way too many resources. Like you could teach yourself. And so I learned that by observing him. And so it's crazy because it was like, there was times in our relationship where I felt alone in our relationship, but because he was so into his music, but it really allowed me to like go search my own passions. It made me look at myself and to examine like, okay, I remember, okay, because I'm talking in circles. There was one night he had worked on, like, this is when we had first started talking. He was like working on this mixtape, and he had like literally stayed up like 2 nights in a row. He was just working so hard on it, and he had this deadline for it. And I think he was like, it's not good enough, or the deadline came and like he just didn't like put it out. And I was like, to me, like this light bulb moment came out because I was like, there is nothing, angel number 5, that I was like, there's nothing that I do that I will work that hard on and not put out in the world. And it just like made me realize like, damn, like what is my passion? Because I don't know if you're the first generation or the first person to graduate from college and then to go off into the workforce, like when you're doing that, at least for me, I wasn't thinking about, oh, what do I like to do? I wasn't thinking about hobbies. Like my hobbies, my focus was to get a job. Like I was trying to get internships. And then if I wasn't trying to get internships, I was trying to, be a part of organizations and do things to make my resume look good. So it's like, I didn't really even think about like what I like to do, which is, why I ended up in the position I was in. And so now that I've been through all that, my relationship broke up and all of this stuff, I realized like, oh, I think I'm accepting, like I am a very ambitious woman. I don't even think I realized until recently how ambitious I am and how driven I am. And so I had recently got a divination reading. And like I had asked him, like one of the things that I wanted to know about was my love life, and he literally like flat out was like, "This is not the time for that." It was like, "This is not the time for that." He's like, he's like, "I'm sorry," and he didn't say it like, he didn't say it rude, but he was like, this is not the time for interpersonal relationships because." Just because, I'm saying this because this is me. So always take a grain of salt. If you're not like me, then don't worry about this. But I am the type of person that I am and how I love. And I have to be so conscious of this moving forward is that I overlove and I overgive. And like, sometimes I can like, I was very codependent. And so I would enmesh with people and like whatever I was doing, it didn't matter, blah, blah, blah. And that's why my ex was really good for me because he kind of wouldn't allow that. He kind of forced me to like be my own individual. And so the guy was the advisor was just like, yeah, now is not the time for interpersonal relationships. And when I really think about it, it's not like, even when I be like, I've given my number out and I tried to talk to some people, but it's just like my focus isn't there. Like when I tell y'all, from the moment that I wake up to the moment that I go to sleep, I am like creating. I am like working on Honestly Sis, or I'm working on my book, or I'm doing these editing pages, or if I'm not doing none of that, then I'm like listening to music and worrying about my yoga class. It's like I'm really just in this really creative part of my life. And I realized that when I really think about it, I don't have time for a relationship. And I feel like God is saying, like, I have to honor that. Like, I've spent my whole life chasing love. I spent my whole life trying to be in a relationship. And I think for this moment in time, I owe it to not only my creations, not only to myself, to like actually devote myself to it. And like the thing that my spiritual advisor was saying, he was like, you are at this point where your road is just starting to open up. He's like, you don't have time for any of that. And so if you've been like me, if you spent your whole life chasing love, this may just be a time, angel number 821, where God is just asking you to just really just retreat and just work on your passions and work on loving yourself. Maybe you may not have, Honestly Sis to work on. You may not have a book to work on, but there has to be something within you that sustains you outside of a relationship. We have to realize that as we're building these divine relationships, a big part of it is that there are two whole people coming together. God is not asking you to come into this relationship so that you can put your whole life and dreams on that person. And and that's why I'm like kind of glad that I'm not in a relationship right now, and that I'm kind of being forced to like work on my work, because I do need to learn how to have a complete life outside of my partner, because that was the problem. The problem was I was putting everything on my partner. So it's like, if it feels like, as much as you try to like put yourself out there, you've been like on dating sites and it's just not working, then it's not the time. And that's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with isolation. And I think as a society, we have like criminalized and bastardized and like all of this stuff to isolation and loneliness, and we weaponize it, and it's not a bad thing. Like sometimes you have to be isolated in order to go through what you need. And also for me, in a previous message we were reading, the initiation card, and it was saying sometimes you have to face the scary part to get to the good part. And I realized for me, angel number 955, that my whole life I have been running away from being isolated. I have been trying not to be alone. And so it will make sense that in order to get to where I need to be, I need to face my fear of being alone so that I can come out on the other side whole, you know? All right, y'all. So let's go a couple more messages. I want to actually just go in and get a note from the universe to clarify why is it so important for us to take this time alone and to work on our passions. Your God, guardian angels, and ancestors, please clarify this message of retreat and passion. Why do you want us to work on ourselves? Why do you want us to take this time of isolation? Allow no ruin or doubt or confusion in me or the viewer's mind. Wow. You are destined for greatness. You are great. You are destined for greatness on the wings of love. I love this. This is why God is saying he wants you to take a time, take a moment to just be alone, because he has you going to some amazing places. You're going to have all those dreams you ever wanted. They're going to come true. But first you got to work on you. And I think that came from below. So I'm going to take this one. Love in spite of it all. Love yourself in spite of it all. And I would take this one. You were born with that it quality. And so just doubling down, God is saying that you have this ability to, you're going to be great. I don't know if you've been like me and you felt like, well, I can't have love and money too. If you felt like I can't have a successful relationship and money too, and be a successful driven woman. God is saying you can have it all. And I don't know about you guys, but I have been seeing more and more in the media with some of our, thank God for Issa Rae, thank God for Beyonce, like they're showing you can have it all. You don't have to choose. It's just all up on you. And I feel like the reason why God is stressing all of this, your treasure is at hand. Oh my God. It's like God is saying, if you would just take that time to just focus on your passions, you will be able to be fulfilled. You'll be able to be fulfilled professionally. And I also feel like by you fulfilling your professional passion, the love is going to come, because right underneath this is wedding. This situation involves marriage. And so this is what God is saying. When you work on your love, ding, 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 ding. I got it, y'all. The problem is we put too much focus on our love life. And we know as spiritual beings that what we focus on, if we put too much focus on something, then it could actually block the manifestation coming in. And so what God is saying, if we've been spending our whole life chasing love, we've spent our whole life trying to look for the one, look for the one, look for the one. What God is saying for right now, it's not saying to deny that you want love. God is saying he's not asking you to say that you don't want it. He's not asking that. But he's saying because you put so much focus, energy, and attention towards it, he needs you to shift and just work on something else. Put it towards another passion. Put it towards another project. And when you do that, because your attention isn't on it, it's going to allow it to easily manifest in your life. Guys, I always talk about how my yoga class was such a blessing. It's something, angel number 1303, it's something that I was not looking for. I was not working towards. I was not even, I think I did say it out loud. All I said was I wanted to teach a yoga class. I told one person that I wanted to teach a yoga class, and I literally got blessed with my own yoga class. I'm making money on it. I'm making money on it. It's something I'm starting to get people to come to it, and it has been the biggest blessing to my life. And I got it literally by attending a healing retreat and telling the lady how much I love her studio. Magic. It ain't magic. It ain't magic. It ain't magic. I keep trying to tell y'all it's not magic. And so that's what God is saying. Like, if you just stop focusing on your love life for a little bit, put that attention into yourself, put that attention in loving yourself, being more passionate about life, then all those good things will come to you. Okay? All right. That message made me happy. I hope that it made you happy as well. I'm going to end this message with a Sufi. Cuddy, what you in there doing? Y'all, I'll be keeping my eye on this little boy. I gotta keep my eye on this little boy. What you doing over there, baby? What you doing, man? Hopefully, when I get my new place, I can get hopefully I get a good little setup, and then y'all can actually see Cuddy. And y'all be like, oh, he is cute. All right, God. Clarify this message of retreat, passion, and wedding. You are destined for greatness on the wings of love. You are born with that it quality. Love in spite of it all, and your treasure is at hand. God, why is it so important for us to take this time alone so that we can manifest the love of our life? Why are you asking us to stop focusing on our love life for just a little while? God, what do you want us to know? Allow no room for doubt or confusion in me or the viewer's mind. On the wings of love. Every time I see that card, I think about that. All right. Ooh, simple pleasures. Look for beauty that is all around you. Angel number 1506. That's going to be our card message. Simple beauties. Simple pleasures. On the wings of love. That actually made me really happy. I don't know about y'all, but like, it makes me feel better. Like, I don't, that gives me confidence to be by myself right now. And honestly, I don't know what, I think some planet did just go direct. Maybe it was Saturn, but as soon as we crossed over in October, I started feeling so much better. Y'all, I was like, I made an appointment I got my nails done. I'm like looking at this trip for Italy. Like, it's like so much, like, it's just all, I just realized like it's so much stuff I want to do. And it's also not all about like just me waiting to travel, but just me realize like I can go out in the world. Like, just, I don't know. Like, I just really got this. And I think it all came from like my yoga class, like me getting that confidence. And like my old like yoga instructor that I really love, she came and like, I don't know, it's like this flip just switched on me. I don't know. Angel number 1616. All right. Someone asked the prophet, "What doest thou say concerning the things of the world?" The prophet said, "What can I say about them? Things which are acquired with hard labor, preserved with watchfulness, and left with regret." Look for the beauty that is all around you. Someone asked the prophet, "What dost thou say concerning the things of the world?" The prophet said, "What can I say about them? Things which are acquired with hard labor, preserved with watchfulness, and left with regret." We are meant to enjoy this life in an infinity variety of ways. The more self-aware and self-accepting we become, the happier we will be. If days seem to go by before we know it, it can be because we forget to be aware and attentive to the smaller pleasures in life. Sufi wisdom softens and opens us to love, and this includes an attitude of compassion for our own being. The Sufi master Asara wants you to realize that you are born with potential. You already possess everything you need to enjoy life. You are protected in the loving arms of the divine creator. Stay focused to truly accept what is coming to you in this present moment. When you are faced with challenges, try and meet them with a positive attitude. Goals that bring you peace are achievable through perseverance. Dear one, inner peace or happiness is not what you have to work to achieve. They are what you experience through trusting your higher self. Whew, that's a word. They are present in every moment. To the Sufis, happiness is centered on having control of our desires, doing what we are guided to do to achieve this, and by developing a proper relationship with our community. Be aware, just like the Sufis, and whisper a prayer of thanks as you awaken to the little things. And so, I mean, this actually makes a lot of sense. Angel number 1817 is because God is just saying is that you've been focusing so much on the big picture about having this big love of your life that you may be neglecting the little things. You may just be neglecting like taking care of yourself, you know, getting a good little workout habit, making sure you're eating nourishing meals, maybe doing those things that you used to do as a kid. I don't know about you, but I actually have an article on Honestly Sis where I talk all about like these little everyday joys. And for me, I love reading. Like, I genuinely love reading. Like, it's something about reading that makes me feel centered and grounded. And I realize that when I'm in a better reading groove, I feel better. I think better. I'm working better. And so I made it a point. I made it a factor. I made it a point and I guess it's a point. I made it a point to make sure that I always have books in this house. I just bought a new load of books. If you follow me on Twitter, I have like a whole little thread that I started to create about all the books that I'm reading. That's my North Node in Virgo, y'all. I don't know that. I love keeping track of shit. But it also makes me feel better. And it's like, I can say, oh, I'm reading for, and matter of fact, my therapist was like, oh, so are you reading for your book? And it's like, no, I'm just reading because I like reading. Like, that's just who I am. And I, like, when I had met my ex, he had bought me, like, I was reading all of the True Blood series, and like, he had bought me a Kindle. And it's like, I just love reading. And so I don't know what that is for you. What do you just like to do? Whatever you just like to do, you need to start doing more of it. And it honestly will take your attention off of this big picture of having a mate. And that's why I realized, like, I've been so, and I guess not anymore, so focused on, I was focused on like why people wasn't inviting me places, that I stopped like doing shit. And so I realized, like, I don't have anything to be ashamed of. I can't keep living my life waiting for somebody to invite me places. And so I'm starting to make a habit to just do stuff. Like, I'm going to go see the Cirque du Soleil show. I want to, when the Alvin Ailey come to town, I'm going to go see Alvin Ailey. If there's any concerts I want to go to, I'm going to go to the concerts. And it's just like realizing, like, I can just go live my life. And honestly, I was blessed because last year, well, actually this year, I went down to Disney with my auntie and them. And because they didn't want to go to see a Harry Potter thing, I was like, there is no way I'm coming all the way down here and I'm not going to go see Harry Potter. Like, that's just, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Like, I have a tattoo and everything. Like, I'm going to see Harry. And so they went to the water park, and I actually spent the whole day in the park by myself. And at first I was like, of course, you're going to be nervous. You're going to think you're going to be like a loser, but it's an amusement park. I was able to get on every ride that I wanted to get on. I just had so much fun. And I ended up staying there way later than what I thought. Like, I really thought I was going to be just, like, turn around and go home. But like, I ended up having the time of my life. And that just taught me that I can have fun by myself. And so maybe you need to go do that. You need to learn how to like be in your life without having a mate. You need to learn how to be okay without having a mate. Okay. You just have to do that. And honestly, you can't get your mate until you learn how to be on your own. So you may as well just do it and stop trying to like force it, because you're just going to keep going in relationship with more and more fuck people, fuck boys and fuck girls. So just take this time to learn yourself, love yourself, so that you can get the true love that is meant for you. All right, here's a mantra to help you with this practice. Every hour of my life brings me a variety of pleasurable experiences. I am realizing that they may never come again. I will accept the sweet pleasure of the gifts of the little things and live in grateful appreciation. Every hour of my life brings me a variety of pleasurable experiences. I am realizing that they may never come again. I will accept the sweet pleasures of the gift of the little things and live in grateful appreciation. Every hour of my life brings me a variety of pleasurable experiences. I am realizing they may never come again. I will accept the sweet pleasures of the gift of the little things and live in grateful appreciation. All right, y'all, that is all the messages I have for you. If you have made it to the end of this message, please give me a thumbs up. If you made it to the end of this message, you are not subscribed. What are you waiting for? Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rest you, and never, ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. Angel number 2240. Namaste. Talk to you soon. Also, booking information all below. Bye-bye.